Response video to the general conversation that's been going on regarding this population stuff. So I'm going to play some other videos, do a formal response to a couple of them. But I really hate the whole direction of the conversation. So I think it's based on a lot of false premises, a lot of declarations that I don't think that can happen, or this can't, just what's the point? So I'll deal with, I guess, conference report, but I'm going to play a couple of his videos. Now he's saying that death is the answer. Yeah, so now we somehow solved the problem. If we kill 30-year-olds, or he's upgraded to 50-year-olds, or oblige them in some way to bail out. I don't see how that solves any problem at all. You don't have kids when you're 50 years old, generally speaking. 50-year-olds aren't really the reproduction problem. So, I think, yes, older people, 70 and above, consume a huge amount of resources. They are probably bigger pigs, of social energy workers and such. They eat the most working hours. They probably eat more than kids, educating kids and daycare and all that crap. So yeah, it'd be good to cut down on the inefficiency with which we face our terminal end, and that would be a really good idea. Let's get rid of not the fool's golden years. The golden years that really aren't that golden. But arbitrary numbers are kind of silly. I think we can have a more rational definition of you're done than, you reached a certain age. I think when you reach the point where you can't remember your name, you're probably done. But anyway, we certainly should make it possible for people who will voluntarily do the right thing, to do the right thing. And I always, I'll mention it again just because I think it's a very good illustration. But the movie Soylent Green, to me it's almost an anti-movie. It's demonstrating the fallacies that people trip over, the silliness that they trip over. Because the beautiful scene in it is when the doctor, decides he's had enough of the shit life he's living, and he dies. And he goes to a place, and they give him a very graceful end. Showing him the best of life. He can wallow in a bit of beauty as he slides off. Very nice. And, the theme of the movie basically is that, the society is so overpopulated, people are eating Soylent Green, which is recycled human beings. And, the idea is this is some horror. And that's to me, it's almost become a laughable part, is that, that horror is just a figment of your imagination. There's no meaning to it. We are just chemistry. Right now you have cells in your body that are made of chemistry, chemical parts, that might have been a Tyrannosaurus's vagina. Right on your nose you might have Tyrannosaurus vagina. There's probably been, your chemistry is probably recycled through a maggot a zillion times. So your tongue is probably made out of maggots. So what the hell are you worried about? As long as we process the dead into some little tasty snack food, what the fuck? Why not? But it really is an irrelevancy, because the dead are not. It's not enough to feed us. Even eating dead people ain't going to get us anywhere. It's a drop in the bucket regarding the energy and resources we need to continue playing this game. But anyway, back to the other points. I really don't want to. The To Be Serious video wasn't a video, so I won't bother playing that. It was just a little statement. But she raised this bogeyman of who's going to decide. And Fred sort of talked about that too. And, well, what are we going to concede? If we're going to concede that if we create a fair way to have a conversation, a social conversation, and we argue it through in a disciplined manner, and then we have a vote, if we're going to argue that that's not good enough, then yeah, we might as well buy guns and just shoot the fuck out of each other, and whoever shoots straightest wins. I mean, I don't see any point. I see a point in arguing for better politics, you know, even obliging the lie detector thing for Supreme Court people and different things like that to make these assholes more accountable. You know, let's open the democracy up so we can have more voting choice, and we're not obliged to pick between Mussolini and Hitler. Yeah, let's do that. Let's fix the democracy. But there isn't any other choice here. We've got to have the argument in some sort of political arena. And if you're going to say we can't do that fairly, or we're not capable of understanding the interest of all the little minorities, well, that's just fucking bullshit, I think. And like I said, if you're going to concede that point, then why are you talking on YouTube if you think people aren't listening or can't listen or can't understand? If you think that, then buy a fucking gun. Because those are your only two fucking choices. You're either going to talk or you're going to shoot. But that's it. There's nothing else. There's no other way the future will happen. I'm going to invest in talking, alright? You can invest in whatever the fuck you want. So anyway, but you know, the idea that we can't make any fucking decisions because we're crippled, you know, by the imperfection of the decision-making process is fucking crap. Alright, you know, jeez. There's another angle that's really pissed me off. Oh yeah, there's sort of this implication too. You know, there is a concept like defective. And yeah, it's not nice to say somebody's defective or defective minority. But why did you even use that word, defective? Oh, that's right, because it applies. And there should be a limit on exactly how big an imposition we allow people to be. I mean, there should be a line somewhere. I mean, how big a fart can you let loose at the party before you're an obnoxious asshole? You know, and this idea that there's some humans on this planet that are worth millions of dollars of investment to keep them alive, in my opinion, is crap. You know, that's just reaching. You're going to have one hell of a goddamn brain to be worth it. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to argue is this notion that intelligence, the Snow guy said this is one of the most inheritable traits. Well, that's a pile of shit. I think longevity is one of the most inheritable traits. And I think intelligence in some respects is the least. And I think it's always such a marginal difference that won't do you any frickin' good. You know, 2% difference in intelligence, so it's not going to make much of a difference. And intelligence is so dependent on the quality of it. What are you doing with your brain? Not so much how much your brain can memorize. I mean, these are important distinctions. I mean, even intelligence, you know, a crude sledgehammer intelligence test, it doesn't even get to the nuance of what real intelligence is, and the real power of it, which might be more about, you know, being able to work with concepts rather than memorize concepts. So anyway, but yeah, the inheritability thing is very suspect, because you have to study people who are raised in adoptive families, and then you have to, you know, make some effort to see that the adoptive families don't also have high intelligence, and you know, it gets difficult to draw these conclusions. I mean, obviously kids raised in an intelligent environment will be more intelligent. I mean, I can take a man 100,000 years ago, and I can have him raised by intelligent people, and he will become an intelligent person. I mean, it just isn't that complicated. and doesn't have, I don't think, as strong as a genetic component as you people imply. Extraordinary intelligence might, like the Einstein style, but that has to do with a brain changes, and some of those brain changes might not be something you want in human beings. It's often the case that the highly intelligent are, blighted by disorders, such as myself. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I didn't mean that to sound the way it did, but anyway, I'll continue. But yeah, they're often damaged psychologically. They're often socially dysfunctional. There are often a lot of things you don't want in a human race, because they're not going to be able to do anything but play with numbers in a book. They're not going to be able to build your bridges or plow your fields or even properly pet your kitty, because they're often a bit wacky. Because their brain is fucked. That's why they're more intelligent. It's because one part of their brain has been sacrificed to augment another part. Alright. God. I hate this conversation. I don't hate it. I hate all conversations. I hate that it's gone nowhere. Yeah, this whole thing just started off with something. Well, let's talk about controlling population, and now we're on 4 million tangents, like always. And they all have to do with some sort of draconian horror story where, human beings have to be realistic. Oh my God, the horror. The fact of the matter is that we breed people, we can breed them to be anything. We can raise them to be anything. You, me, anything. And yes, we've let chaos rule, and we're letting insane people breed. People who have, our race doesn't have enough numbers. I'm going to breed to up our racial numbers. This race is important. Blah, blah, blah. It's disgusting. So yeah, the human race is full of assholes. That's the problem. And, sorry. But yeah. And this whole thing, the whole problem ends. If you people are psychologically like me, you have my life experience, my temperament, my disposition, yeah, problem solved. Because I couldn't give a rat's ass, about the whole damn thing. So yeah, let's just wash it up, clean it up, get a mop and finish it up. Because it's not going anywhere, can't do anything, and we've been there, done that before. So yeah, game over, quit playing. But you people want to just wallow in this horror and call it admirable. I have an admirable desire to persevere. Yeah, persevere for what? I was thinking about that with the genetic thing, because people in my family live forever. I mean, they just don't fall over dead. If you're going to kill them, it takes a while, sometimes decades, and I'm hoping to break that trend. Yeah, it's just, for what? I mean, I guess I've seen enough of it to know. And this pursuit of this sucking up the oxygen in is for no other reason, really. I mean, I've seen it. People with no life, nothing. I want to drool another day. I want to shit my pants for another day. All it is I don't want to quit. 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 It doesn't have anything to do with accomplishment, productivity, some sort of sensible ambition. It just has to do with, I don't want to go. Not today. Tomorrow. Yeah, put it off till tomorrow. It has nothing to do with being rational or reasonable or practical or sensible or useful or anything. It's just plain fucking waste. And unfortunately, it's hard to argue with people who have built a monument to waste. I mean, when you can't even